Miss Kathryn Kauffman, all the way from Lexington, joining us here tonight. Thank you so much, everybody. Let's try that. Can you hear me now? 1, 2, 3, 4. And all this is a mess. Technology is a mess. I think that you can probably hear me now because the sound bar is moving. So I'll get a couple shout outs to see if the sound is working, and then yes, okay. Well, that is perplexing. Anyway, let's go straight to where all is this, being broadcast for tonight. So places you can find the show tonight live are LinkedIn, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, DLive, and Daily Motion. So you can go to any of those and watch the show there. The show will be saved and put on the YouTube channel. And I would appreciate you guys hopping over to the YouTube channel, giving it a subscribe, and liking the videos, and hitting the notification bell for future videos. This also is going out on the following podcasts on Anchor, Spotify, Radio Public, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Overcast, and Pocket Cast. And on some of those, if you guys are listening on a podcast and you see a little thing that says support button, click that and throw some coffee money my way. it helps pay for all this equipment that doesn't work half the time. So anyway, I hope you guys had a fabulous weekend. It's starting out to be a pretty week. It's clearing up now, so I'm real happy about that. Last week, we talked about what type of entities can infest your home or your living space. This week, we're going to hit those again, but we're going to discuss how energetically you deal with each one of those, because the things that you do to like get rid of these things are all different pretty much. So let's do some more shout outs over here on Facebook and YouTube. Special shout out to Laura Day, Angela Shields, Chris Portoff, good to see you, and let's see, Michelle Durbin, let's see who else, Robin McKenzie, Donna Marie, hey. Donna Marie, these are informational shows, and I do readings as my primary business. I will leave a link in the comments, though, to the website if you're interested in a reading. Shout out to Pamela Downey, Melissa Begley, her sidekick, Miss Cleo, Sandra Lee Small. Good to see you guys, and it's always good to see you guys here on a Monday night. So I look forward to these. As far as why I do the show, I know a lot of psychics like to do like free readings on their channels. Yes, that is to promote the channel, but I do these shows more to answer questions for my clients and my fans, because a 60-minute session is so short that all of the questions can't be answered. And I get repeated questions asked by people about topics just like tonight. And so when I don't have enough time to explain everything and the 60-minute session is up, I can give them this video to watch, give them the link to the video to watch, and then all of their questions can be answered. And then if they have questions even beyond that, let's say about some other topic, they can go on the YouTube channel and browse through the playlist and find the answers to their other questions. So that is why I do the show. I don't do free readings on the channel because I feel like that that's kind of a disservice to the people who pay to come and see me and support me, because that's, that's how I put, let's face it, how I put groceries in the refrigerator. So I don't do that online, but I do this as a public service. So anyway, that's all that. How is your spring going? What all are you getting into? Let me know in the comments. What are you up to? Are you getting out? Did you get your vaccine? Are you getting out? Are you having a little bit of fun and trying to put 2020 behind you? So I would just like to know, just sound off a little something so I know what you guys are up to. Anyway, we're going to get to the topic tonight. So the others are the other type of entities that can infest a home beyond ghosts or spirits. And there are a lot. And we can't cover every single one because there are just too many different types that are out there. But I did hit the main ones that we encounter a lot. Shout out to Flow With Me over here on Instagram and Robin Canetta. Good to see you. So the first category was aliens or alien encounters. And what I did last week was I gave some of the specific indicators of each entity. The primary indicators of the alien encounter is that it's mostly at night, and it's mostly the person has a loss of time. The time perception is off. They will wake up with physical marks or maybe even illnesses. A lot of dream paralysis is involved with alien encounters. And so how do we deal with that? Like, what do we do if we suspect that? The first thing that I think a person should do, and this is just from my experience, is to get some hypnosis done from a licensed practitioner to uncover the bits of time that are missing. And that has really uncovered quite a bit for people who've had an alien abduction or an alien encounter. So hypnosis is the first thing that you would want to do to see about, was this a dream? Was it something that really happened? What happened during the missing time that I had? Also, video surveillance. Now, video surveillance is not going to show you any aliens, most likely, because they're energetic sometimes and shift. What you will see, but it'll be on a consistent basis. You will see the video being disturbed, or the video, like classically 10 minutes in, will start to shake or shimmer or fade, and so that's the energetic disruption of an alien invasion. And it's pretty regular. Like, a person can kind of tell when they're going to have an encounter. So a person will actually sense the attack before it happens. So if this is happening to you and you sense this, you definitely would want to take steps to prevent it. And how are we going to prevent something like that? Well, the first thing is you've got to practice mind control blocking techniques. And there are a lot of places online that you can search that and find out more about how to do that and get the training on that. You actually, in the scenario, if you remember any of it, you want to try to fight back. Lucid dreaming is a good way to stay conscious within the attack and actually use your mind to fight back or resist. And also maybe even eliciting help from friends and family. Let's say you sense intuitively that there might be an attack. If you could elicit help from someone in your family to maybe stay up one night that this might supposedly occur, and sort of watch over you that night. Or when you start to fight or you start to have a struggle, maybe they could wake you up at that point. Let's see if there are any questions. I want to make sure that I don't miss anything tonight, and that I'm paranoid now. I'm hoping the audio is still going. Anyway, this is all new equipment. I haven't yet figured it all out, and I'm not sure why the Logicam did not have the video going. That's really weird, but maybe they don't want you to know this information. Okay, so those are the things that you can do for alien encounters. The second type of entity we talked about last week are extra-dimensional beings. And these are encounters at night, which these beings are sort of energy feeders, and they feed off of a person during their sleep cycle. And the sleep cycle is the most vulnerable time for you, other than, let's say, if you're anesthetized, you're definitely open to psychic attack and extra-dimensional attack. And the person will experience paralysis in their dream, and then they will wake up with maybe migraine headaches, lethargy, depression, posterior neck and shoulder pain are classic signs of an extra-dimensional being attack. What can we do about that? Well, the first thing that you want to do is close the entry points, and the entry points are classically mirrors. And the mirrors act as a conduit for these type of beings to transfer into our dimension. And so you definitely want to close those. So ways to close those entry points, and it also can be a portal. Portals are a little bit more difficult to locate if you're not experienced at it, but definitely the mirror is a portal. So you would want to cover the mirror and first see if you get any relief from just covering the mirror with a black cloth. You also want to alter the vibrations in the room, and you can do that through maybe solfeggio frequencies or use of some videos that play Tibetan singing bowl music or crystal bowl vibrations. But you want to change the vibration in the room because they definitely feed off of energy and are made from energy, and any kind of altered vibration in the room disrupts their pattern, and it can really go a long way to prevent them from um sucking dry your energy. Hey Cheka on Twitter, good to see you. So let's discuss shadow beings. Shadow beings are one of my favorite topics, and if you're a subscriber on my YouTube channel, there's a 5-part series just about shadow people, because they're not all bad, believe it or not. Some of them are actually quite beneficial. And so, but shadow people are in that category of the others. And they classically are dark silhouettes with a human shape. In olden days, I should say, they even had the image of a hat. And these are images that are created from your own psyche. So there's some kind of psychic link or intuitive connection where they can read your thoughts and project through their shadow image what you fear the most. Now, these are conscious, intelligent, interdimensional beings, and they can shape shift, like I said, into different objects or forms that can elicit fear. So they may actually be things that feed off of that exudance of energy from your auric field. So what do you want to do for these things if you have a bunch of these? This is really easy. They love congested, cluttered up areas that contain a lot of shadows. So you want to remove all of those things, declutter, organize, put things up to where there are no shadows or convolutions of the light in the room. Also, have everything brightly lit so that there are no shadows to really come from the sides. Also, you want to try to do a cleansing of your property, and most often it's the sound cleansings that work best with the others in this type of category, because most of these are energetic, and any type of sound cleansing really disrupts their energy field. And so any kind of cleansing, if you just have sage or Palo Santo and that's all you have, use it, cleanse your area, declutter it, make it bright, well lit. Also, these things feed off of negative energy that you produce. And so they almost like cause things to happen so that you put off the negative energy that they want to feed off of. So you've really got to be very aware of de-dramatizing your life. Okay. Get rid of the stress and the drama, because that's one of the things that they love to feed off of. And if you don't give them things to feed off of, then they just kind of dissipate. Let's look at a couple of questions here. So Angela says, I talk and walk in my sleep, and recently have been told I'm holding my hand up in the air and waving it around like I'm trying to shy, and I have no recollection of this. Okay, Angela, you can find out what's going on through hypnosis. Hypnosis will uncover exactly what's going on there and why you're doing it. So you may be trying to shoo something away. But definitely you can find out by finding a licensed hypnotherapist. The one that I refer people to here in Lexington, and he does remote sessions, so you can get a session with him from anywhere. I recommend him. He's the one that I use for me and my family, and it's Live Today Hypnosis in Lexington, Kentucky. And you want to ask for Paul Bishop, and he can definitely uncover whatever's going on there and find out what the crux of it is for sure. Okay, the next category are nature spirits and fairies, and they can really cause a lot of havoc, especially with your pets. They love to pester little dogs and cats. And especially at this time of the year when the energies are really high and we've got a lot of growth from the environment going on, this big surge of nature energy, they're very, very active. And, when they first come back out, it's kind of a thrill for them to really torture a little dog, maybe cause it to chase them around and stuff like that. So your poor pets can really suffer from these things. They can either be a benefit or they can be a detriment. If they're a benefit, you're golden. If they're a detriment, it's a living nightmare from Hades. Because, as soon as you go and plant something, they'll go out and tear the garden up. They'll pull up your new plants. They will, pick at your dogs and cats. They can cause knots in long hair, knots like if you wake up and your hair is just crazy and it's knotted everywhere, could be. I'm just saying. Anyway, what do you do with these things? Let's say if they're causing problems. One of the biggest things that repels nature spirits and fairies are iron. And so in the old days, people would put iron horseshoes over the doorways of the home or even in all four corners of the house. Anything iron used to, horseshoe nails were made of iron and a lot of iron nails were used, and people would just put those nails down in their pocket. Another thing supposedly that repels them is turning your jacket inside out. Um, Not sure how efficaciously that works, but there's a lot of stories about that people have conveyed through hundreds of years on how they have dealt with these creatures. Using boxwood or rowan tree boughs over the doorways and the windows was another way that people use to keep these little things out of the house or keep them from causing problems. Um, Sometimes prayers work with these entities, but most often not. But one thing that does work pretty readily is holy water with these little things. Big shout out to my lovely neighbor, Miss Amber Bentine. Kisses to you, and I'm glad to see that you made it here tonight. Okay, so Angela says she's definitely had some hair knots lately. You may want to take some steps, Angela. Another thing that works with fairy infestations is an advanced psychic protection technique. Can't really go into it on here because the file on it is still up for sale on my website. It's under advanced psychic protection techniques, and there's a specific technique for these type of things, and it works really, really well. And I think that PDF is like $30. So if you're interested in that, just comment or email me at kkaufman309@gmail.com. I'll put it down here in the comments, and you can grab that for $30. It's got a lot of good techniques in it for all kinds of different things that really, really work too, because what we found is some of the basic techniques aren't working anymore. And so I've been working with some people on some different things. These things are working, and so that's why it's in the PDF. The last thing we want to talk about is demonic infestation. We did go over it last week. This seems to begin with something really minor, like a tapping or dripping sound that gets progressively worse, but it's always pretty repetitive in nature. And activity usually kind of steps up, and then it goes into maybe physical attacks in the sleep, illnesses, depression, anxiety. It'll manifest in a personality change, problems with the person's relationships and stuff like that. Of course, things that we want to do for that. One of the biggest things that you can do to really help yourself with any of these type of entities is lucid dreaming. And after the show, I will leave a link to my Amazon shop in the comments for those of you guys on Facebook. For those of you guys that are listening on other platforms, go to Amazon and type in my name, shop, and my shop will come up. It should come up. And there will be a list on dream working suggestions. And there will be a couple suggestions in the shop for lucid dreaming books, workbooks. So one of the best ways to protect yourself is to really take control of your dreams and fight back, or not be a victim in your dream, to actually fight back in your dream against whatever's going on. And then some of the other things for a demonic infestation, of course, is consistent, regular, frequent prayer. I like to suggest that my clients pray the Holy Rosary. The Holy Rosary has an extreme amount of repellent type of energy. And I'm not talking about the abbreviated version. If you think you have a demonic infestation, you should be praying the complete Holy Rosary at least twice a day in your home. Also, holy water, I say religiously marking everything with holy water, being consistent. Consistent treatment of this is of paramount importance. Also, making sure that you are psychically protected at night and using religious icons around your sleeping space. That's one of the biggest things that you can do to prevent this kind of thing from happening. But so these are just a brief look at, what these things are again and what you can do against them or to get rid of them, because they're all energetically different. And so are the techniques are pretty much different. Now, there are similarities between the extra dimensional being type of treatment and the alien encounters, although like alien encounters don't usually involve portals and mirrors, but they do classically have that loss of memory or loss of time aspects that extra dimensional beings don't. I don't get those reports. So next week is going to be fun. We're into spring and sort of getting into summer now. That means we're going to start cooking out, and maybe I'll take you guys out on the back porch with me, and we'll do a live stream next Monday from the back porch and do a cookout. Do you want to do a cookout together? Let me know in the comments if you're interested in that. Until then, I hope you guys have a fabulous week. I will definitely work on the sound issues here and see what's going on with that. Sorry about that blip. But I guess my trusty mic that I threw in the floor, let's see, last week you guys couldn't hear me through this. So I ripped it out of the console and threw it in the floor. And so today I had to get it out of the floor and plug it back in. Now, what's up with that? Maybe I have something down here messing with me. I don't know, but I don't guess I'll throw this microphone away after all, huh? Well, I'll see you guys next week. Later. Kisses from Kentucky. And glad to see you all tonight. Bye.